Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week on the upper tier on YouTube. Head over there, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. Audio version show are available through Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify, if that is your preference. And as always, if you'd like to contact the show on Twitter at Session Shankly, on Gmail, the Upper Tier Podcast, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram, the Upper Tier. My friend, a very, 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 very frustrating night, I would imagine.
Frustrating would be an understatement. But I honestly don't know where to start now. Arsenal get Xhaka sent off after 24 minutes.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, yeah. Karate kick to Jota's mid section. And then after that, I'm thinking to myself, my 4-1 prediction is going to come true. Could even be more. And after that, first of all, I just want to say this, and this is by no means me turning on the whole of the Liverpool support in general, but for some of those fans in that ground to cry about how these commercial tourists come over just to put money into the club shop and go to games and all, the game sounded like it was at the Emirates tonight. It was abysmal, and we've called out the fans before, and it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. The Arsenal fans towards the end were singing, your support is fucking shit. And I looked at my dad and I applauded them, and I was like, they're fucking bang on. You're playing in the cup semi-final. We haven't been to Wembley. We haven't been to a cup final, a domestic cup final, I don't know how many years. And I'm just so angry now. Like, I'm really so fucking angry. It was fucking pathetic. I was looking at some of these guys, and yeah, great. They passed. Won Champions League, won the Premier League. I was looking at some of those guys tonight, and I was thinking, how are they getting a short? There was just no hunger, no passion, no intensity, no urgency. One shot on target, 95 minutes now. One fucking shot in a cup semi-final at Anfield. And we were talking about how this has kind of benefited us and we get the four. And I understand people will turn around and say that, oh, look, the worst thing that could have happened is Arsenal have a man sent off. Arsenal looked the more potent and like potential, like the danger to score. They Arsenal played like they had 11 men and we had 10 men. They were still hungry. They were still closing down. They still had that in them that, look, we're not going to turn over here. And I understand when you're playing against 11 men, especially when you're playing against Liverpool, you're gonna not necessarily park the bus, but you're gonna be compact. We were fucking shit. Side to side FC was back tonight. No, the body language of everybody. Bobby Firmino touched the ball, I think, in the 85th minute, and I forgot he'd been on the pitch. We talked about beforehand, before the game, the midfield three. You have no creativity whatsoever with Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, and James Milner. So why start the three of them? Yeah, I'm so angry. I'm not even frustrated. I'm just pure and utter angry is coming out of every part of my body.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I often say sometimes we kind of occasionally have that performance in us, don't we? It's just every so often this kind of match crops up. The match to me was very like the second half against Chelsea at Anfield when they went down to 10 men. We just didn't have that quality of creativity to unlock that block that those teams put in when they go down to 10 men. And the funny thing about it, sometimes I look at it when these teams go down to 10 men, it's nearly advantageous for them, because if they were still on 11 men, the game might be a little bit more open and we might be able to create something. But I just think, it's one of those really, really frustrating nights where you don't have that quality there in terms of creativity to unlock something. Someone who wants to be out there on the pitch and take responsibility for what's going on. And it can be very, very, very frustrating as a fan. And I get your point as well there, where you're talking about, like, the fans, they don't, they're very quiet and stuff like that. No, but I just think it's one of those things where you kind of have to give the fans something to cheer about as well, don't you?
We on again?
Yeah, we're still there. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, yeah, I completely understand. I agree what you're saying. Like, that low block and going out to 10 men, Niall. But and my dad said this well. He was like, look, it's the first time that this front three has played together with Salah, Mane, and Naby Keita. That's what my dad said. He said, like, the three boys aren't there, and you kind of have to adapt. These guys are professional footballers. The trust is instilled in them to play for Liverpool Football Club. When is the right time to play these? Like, do you put a Boreham Wood under 19 fucking blind academy team together just to get these boys up and running and get them a couple of goals behind us? Like, I don't care about all that. Oh well, like the main men aren't there. In the last round, he goes with a kind of inexperienced team as well, and then you come up. But I'm so angry. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. It was just, I expected more from Jota. I expected more from Firmino. Like, looking at the bench as well, the camera pans to Jurgen Klopp, and he's just standing there, and he's just the usual. And I'm like, why? Where's your fire and your intensity to get these boys come? The body language of everybody was just not like, it was just down. Everybody was just devoid of this. And then I looked at the bench, and I was like, what? Cade Gordon was one of the second best player on the pitch the other day. Do we not go with the bit of confidence going in him? My old lad was like, he's only a kid. I was like, Michael Owen was only a kid once. Ronaldo was only a kid once. Like, what do
Steven
you wait till
Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, they were all only kids one time.
Do you have to wait till these guys are 21, 22 before you can throw them into a cup semi-final? You play off confidence. It's as simple as that. You play off confidence. He was the best player, bar Fabinho. He was the best player on the pitch on Sunday. Taki Minamino, I think we get rid of him in the summer. Yeah, I don't know whether you've noticed or not. I'm just so annoyed. I'm really just so annoyed.
Yeah, it's
everything about
very
everything about tonight. Virgil van Dijk, just you expecting more from these big players like Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Only for they've won us a league title in the past, in the last few years, and a Champions League. We go through these guys for a shortcut, but my opinion doesn't matter because I'm just a fan. You know what I mean? It means nothing. Someone's going to watch this podcast, like a subscriber who said I'm very arrogant. I don't know whether they noticed, but this is called the Shankly session. I'm supposed to be arrogant about being a Liverpool fan, but I'm not arrogant this evening. All credit to Arsenal. They even with 10 men, they still had a go at us, and
that'll feel like a huge win for them tonight.
For me, that's like a 1-0 win for Arsenal because they go back to the Emirates next week with 11 men. They will make noise next week. They know the chance they have now, having with 10 men kept us to a 0-0. They know the massive opportunity they have now next week to put out 11 men, and they will create chances. They definitely create chances at home. And I still feared, even going into the last 10 minutes, with them having 10 men, every time the ball attacked with Arsenal, I just put the head down. I was like, please don't, because Liverpool in recent weeks, yeah, we look well when we're attacking, but we look so vulnerable under attack. And that's my fear next week, is we missed a massive opportunity tonight.
Yeah, I called it in the preview that I did think the game would be quite tight, and I thought it could even go back to the Emirates to be decided. I wasn't factoring in Granit Xhaka obviously getting sent. Not that I wasn't factoring him getting sent off, but I wasn't factoring him getting sent off in the game so early and us having so much time and so much possession. And when I seen Xhaka getting sent off, I said, this could potentially be a very frustrating night. I wasn't as buoyant as you, where you were saying, okay, this is our opportunity now, put up a decent scoreline here and put it to bed for next week. I was sort of thinking, we don't wrap our heads for some reason around this when teams go down to 10 men. It's very frustrating for us. And we just think, I don't know what it is. We think if we keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again, that suddenly it's just going to happen. And it just doesn't happen that way. And I've often said that if we're attacking down the wings with a packed box, it's not necessarily going to work, and we have to try and attack up the middle. But trying to attack up the middle what are we going to do tonight? We've James Milner in there, and no disrespect to these guys at all. But when we don't have Keita in there, when we don't have Thiago in there, we're really void of creativity. There's nothing in there. There's no one that's going to play that killer pass that's going to unlock something and make something happen. And then you have the frustration of Firmino. I can imagine Firmino's night must have been so frustrating, because I'd imagine he was dropping back so much to try and pick up the ball to make things happen. And then because he's dropping back to make things happen, I spoke about this before, then there's nothing there. There's just this gap and two guys out wide. And it's just such a frustrating situation. When I see that midfield, I said it to you tonight when the teams came out, I said, there's that midfield again. Here we go again. And I called it. And like, look at what Arsenal had to do today. Look at the changes Arsenal had to make today to their lineup and all this kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just so frustrating.
Well, like what you said there about, and this is really annoying me. As much as I love Jurgen Klopp, he freaks my mind out sometimes, because I look at him sometimes and thinking, how can you not see what we're seeing? When they went down to 10 men, what's the first thing you do when you're playing against Liverpool, when you're playing against Man City, when you're playing against Chelsea? If you go down 10 men, what's the first thing you do? You drop an extra man back, depending on where the red card has come from, and you'll make sure that you're compact, whether it's 4 and 5 or 5 and 4. You'll make sure you're compact, that when the opposition, i.e. Liverpool tonight, have the ball, you drop deeper. And why was Klopp looking at, like, I think it was the 65th, 70th minute where he brought Oxlade-Chamberlain on, who came on and was absolutely shit, probably because there wasn't much time in the game left to get into the game. But I'm just thinking, like, as soon as they have a man sent off, when you get to the 45th minute, half time, and you realise how compact and how deep they're sitting, as soon as that second half starts, you have to take James Milner out of the middle of the park and bring in someone with a sense of creativity, i.e. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, because I was looking at the bench, and other than Kate Gordon, there was no one else there that has that, well, Curtis Jones maybe, that has that hint of creativity in his game. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, why is it so delayed? I really don't know. I'm so annoyed, because for me it's a massive missed opportunity. I know it could have happened to anybody on the night, but the fact that it's a cup semi-final, I just want to reiterate about the fans, Niall. It was like a funeral procession. There was nothing from the Liverpool fans tonight until about the 92nd minute, when we had our first shot on target. There was nothing from them. And some of these fans want to call them the best fans in the world. I seriously question that, and fans may hear me saying that and can have a go at me. Anyone that watched that game tonight, if they're not angry with what they saw, I don't know what they were watching, because, I'm brutally honest, and fans might like my opinion, but the Arsenal fans from about the 60th minute on were singing how shit the Liverpool support was, and I applauded them. Then they hit the nail on the head. There was nothing. You would think about the 65th minute, Liverpool fans will start like, right, Arsenal they're not cracking, they're sitting deep, they're resolute, they're compact. Let's get behind the team, let's G them up. It was just silence. It was absolute silence.
I get you. Well, listen, let's run quickly through the player ratings then, because I know we don't want to dwell on them. Becker?
I'm actually going to give him our man of the match, because he made one save, and it could have been a different story tonight. He made one point blank save. I'm going to give him a 7. There was a couple of times where he was out off his line as quick as he could be, to kind of clear the danger. Alisson Becker for me was our man of the match tonight, just for that one point blank save, because if not for him, we could have lost the game easily.
Yeah. Trent?
3, absolutely woeful. His force touch was bad. These little kind of, the ball coming to him, trying to give this little dink on the outside of the foot in behind, going straight to Arsenal players. A 3 for me. I thought he was absolutely shite. He was pathetic tonight, in my opinion.
Joel Matip?
Probably kind of our only Joel Matip doing Joel Matip things. I give him a 6.
Virgil?
4. His body language, everything just looked off with everyone tonight.
Robbo?
Robbo, a 5. Yeah, very slow, very lethargic, not his usual boisterous self.
Endo?
4. There was one moment in the game, Niall, the ball comes across the edge of the box, just outside the half circle, just outside the 18-yard box, and it's just looking for that little time, just that little rolling pass back, no pace on it whatsoever to tee up whoever was coming onto it, like have a shot on target. He knocks the ball up into the sky, and it was at that point I was just like, it's not happening tonight.
Fabinho?
5, didn't do anything wrong, but didn't do anything right. I think the game just passed everybody by. Nobody stood out, bar Allison, and for me.
James Milner?
Yeah, I'll go with a 3 for James Milner. Spent more time on the ground than he did up on his feet. Offered nothing to the game.
This one I'm going to know. Taki Minamino?
I'll be generous. I'll give him a 3. He had one shot that was about 4 yards away from the goal, but that was as close as we got.
This one will hurt you, Bobby.
I'll be honest. I'll give him a 3. Wasn't in the game at all. I honestly, like, and you know, everyone who watches knows how much I love Bobby. I can't. I'm trying to think. I actually don't even know if he touched the ball more than 5 times now.
Tough one, all right. No goals tonight, Jota?
No goals, Jota tonight. Bar the ball that came over Gabriel's head, and we made me out. I thought, here we go. He's going to bury this, but he wasn't expecting it to come to him, so we just headed it back down to Ramsdale. There was no distribution. There was nothing coming into the attack. Arsenal were so resolute and compact. So not to his own fault, but I'll give Diogo a 5. He was a 6. I'll give him a 6. He was making that movement and trying to get into the game, but
sailing a lonely ship.
I just want to give Arsenal credit, because I was so confident doing the preview. I thought we'd wipe the floor with them, and I know we weren't taking into account Arsenal may lose the man, but just how even when they went down to 10 men, they still had a goal, they still created chances, and the fans, fair play to them. It's a long old journey back down to, and I'm sure they'll head back down to London tonight like they've won at Anfield. And I'm not confident going to the Emirates next week, if I'm honest.
Curtis?
I'd give him a 5. He wasn't really on the pitch long enough to really do anything of note. Got a couple of touches, but nothing of value.
Ox?
No, I'm actually going to give him a 4, because he did get 1 or 2 touches of the ball, but done Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain things as expected, which was fuck all.
Neko?
There was this one time he got the ball in the corner and thinking, decent delivery. It was a bad delivery, so I'm giving him a 3.
Joe Gomez?
I'm going to give Joe a 5, because it was nice to see Joe on the pitch. Just nice to see Joe Gomez back. Can we give Jurgen Klopp a rating?
You can, absolutely.
Yeah, and I know a lot of fans will disagree with me because of their love for Jurgen Klopp, but don't forget, I love Jurgen Klopp just as much as you do. I'm going to give him a 1, because I thought the game was tailor-made to put Kate Gordon into the team, floating with confidence after his performance on Sunday. And as I said to my dad, Michael Owen was young once. Every world-class player that we've seen in our generation that's playing football has started out as a kid in the game. If you're good enough, you're old enough. It's as simple as that. And I just thought tonight, stick him on. He might get the crowd cheered up. Get behind the young lad that's, put in a shift on Sunday and left to be a spectator.
You need some sort of flair, don't you? You need some sort of spark to get a crowd going.
Look at Saka at Arsenal. Look at Martinelli at Arsenal. Look at Smith Rowe. Yeah. We need that in the team.
It's a weird one as well for a semi-final, isn't it? It's like he nearly had one eye on the Brentford game, but yet it's the semi-final of a domestic cup, so very, very frustrating. Well, look, absolutely frustrating night, but look, we'll go again next week as we always do, no doubt about it. This has been your Shankly sessions. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 0, Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. Very frustrating night for
24 minutes.
Very, very frustrating for all us Reds, but look, we get a second chance at it next week, so hopefully we can make amends for that and roll on the Brentford game now at the weekend. Until next time, my friend. YouTube, the upper tier. Get over there, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Can I just say one thing, Will?
Go on.
Can I just say one thing? Just to that soul fan who said I'm very arrogant.
Mark Grennan is his name. He tunes into all our videos and always subscribes. And
Mark, if I offended you in any way, I apologise. Sincere love from me to you. But this is called.
He was right. We were wrong.
You were right. We were wrong. But it is called the Shankly sessions, which Shankly was Liverpool's greatest ever manager. So I think I have the right to be arrogant. But you are right. I am wrong. I apologise.
But it is only half time in this.
It is only half time in this.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark. He's always on the videos and stuff like that. He's always coming on. Great.
Appreciate your subscription.
Absolutely, pal. Till next time, my friend. No doubt we'll be dropping a Brentford preview at the weekend. Shall talk to you again. This has been your match reaction and player ratings. Till next time. Cheers.